Welcome to Take a Card, Make a Card. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
This is our show where we take a random gimmick from this stack of cards you'll see on the screen in a little bit, and we will have to make our dream 5-match wrestling card from matches from history that fall under that gimmick. It's the most stressful thing that we do on this podcast.
I hate it.
I
hate it so
too,
much.
but we do it for the people. We will then have 5 minutes to decide our matches, and you in the comments will let us know who had the better card. Now, we don't know what the gimmick is going to be, but you see it on the title below in the YouTube video. But when we're recording, we have no idea. The rules. Let's put them up on the screen. Thank you, future me. You cannot repeat a wrestler. You cannot repeat a title. You have 5 minutes to do a 5-match card because we agree NXT takeovers are the correct length of a pay-per-view. And that's it. They just have to fit within whatever the gimmick we pull is.
I get so stressed because I want to do so well, but I also have the worst memory.
And I will also say we're like at a disadvantage right now. We were recording this the morning after the time change, so we lost an hour of sleep.
I was up watching the freaking Sean O'Malley UFC pay-per-view last night.
I was not, for I am an old man and I went to bed. All right, so I have the take a card, make a card up on the screen, Javier. It has numbers 1 to 14. Where are we going this week?
10.
Sean Spears. 10. It is.
Please.
Your favorite one that you've ever pitched.
No.
It must include wrestlers who have had an Inferno match or been on fire. Now, this does not mean that every match on the card has to be an Inferno match, but every wrestler who is a part of the card has to have been in an Inferno match or been set on fire in some capacity.
I don't know who's been set on fire, man.
Jim Ross, I remember that. Jim Ross has been set on fire.
What wrestlers? Does that count like pyro accidents?
You know what? Sure, we'll count pyro accidents just because I know that we need to, because we need the Undertaker. So
straight up, without McMahon him faking his death count.
No, because he didn't actually. We saw no flames. Okay, we saw no flames.
What do you mean? We saw the thing blow up.
Not on him. All right, 5 minutes is on the timer. The time starts right now.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I am stressed.
Okay, the timer's gone up.
I am complete.
So, how many people in wrestling history have caught on fire? Or have been in Inferno matches?
I found a list.
Let us do the list. On my list, Triple H, Kane, Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, MVP, weird.
Oh, I saw that one.
And Randy Orton. Those people who have been in Inferno matches in WWE. Anything else in terms of catching on fire is going to be like your own ability to defend it.
I don't care. Jeff Hardy, he's not on my thing. I'm just going to spoil that now. But Jeff Hardy getting hit by pyro that one time and by
catches on fire
accident, that counts.
Yeah. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first because I worked so hard.
This was stressful in a different way because so many of the guys are involved in each other's really good matches that it's hard to think of an outside person for these Inferno match people and pick a good match. So I'm intrigued to see what you have for your matches.
I also didn't want to overlap, so I did my best not to do so. And in doing that, I did not pick... Actually, I picked the best match for probably 2 of these people. I don't know.
I tried to pick unique matches for these 2. So, all right, what do you got first?
Oh, God. All right, so I got to make sure I get the ordering correct. So my first match, the person that gets lit on fire is Edge in his street fight with Mick Foley.
Flaming tables. God,
flaming tables, baby. That's not the match, but I'd have to prove his the fact that he's
flammability.
Not. Yeah, I have to confirm the flammability here. The match I'm choosing, Survivor Series 2002. Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Los Guerreros versus blank and Kurt Angle for the WWE Tag Team Championships or the SmackDown Tag Team, whatever they were called at the time.
That's a great pick.
Great match. Love that match.
Way to remember that Edge got lit on fire because I didn't think of flaming tables.
It was on my
all.
list. So
Love that.
It was on the list that I found on the internet. So, the next match, second match on the card, the person who was set on fire and also probably set someone on fire, Kane.
I mean, he set Jim Ross on fire. That son of a bitch.
Yes, I mean, he set The Undertaker on fire. His whole thing is that he was canonically set on fire.
He loves fire. Okay, what do you got for a Kane match?
The best match of Kane's career, in my opinion, Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback versus The Shield from TLC 2012.
I weirdly thought you were about to put the 2001 Royal Rumble on here, and I was like kind of hyped. But then I was like, "How do you? You're taking 30 guys out at once? That's crazy." But no, this Shield match is.
I mean, who am I going to reuse from there? You know,
from the 2001 Rumble.
Yeah, what? I'm going to freaking reuse Austin? Like, no. Like,
yeah.
Does he count? Was he set on fire?
I don't know if he was set on fire. Tell us in the comments, wrestlers we missed who were set on fire.
My third one is where it got dicey for me. Because I specifically wanted the world title match that I picked. So I couldn't put the Bray Wyatt Elimination Chamber on there. I'd already used the Shield, so I couldn't do Wyatt family versus the Shield. And I already used Danielson, so I couldn't put either one of the two Royal Rumble matches that they had against each other.
Yeah.
So I went with one that, I mean, like, the quality of the match is just like whatever, because it's a squash match, but the moment was so impactful. So I went with Bray Wyatt as The Fiend versus Finn Balor from, I believe it's SummerSlam 2012 or 2019. The Fiend's debut.
It's a good pick.
I don't remember if it's 18 or 19. Honestly, I was stressed and didn't look it up. I'm pretty sure it's 19.
It's 19.
And then my next match, the title isn't main eventing, boys, but they had a hell of a run. Mankind, aka Mick Foley, also part of the Edge Flaming Table spot.
Yep.
Versus Shawn Michaels from Mind Games back in 1996.
Oh,
for the WWF title.
Deep cut. Great
good pick. It's the first match I thought of for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah. And then we ended off with the man who, aside from Kane, has been involved in fire for so many reasons, whether shoot or not shoot.
Which Undertaker match you picking?
The Undertaker versus Triple H, the end of an era match from WrestleMania 28.
And hey, Triple H has been in an Inferno match too, so.
Here's the thing. I had to ask you before we did the reboot here, because I needed to know whether Shawn Michaels being the special guest referee in that match affected his candidacy for matches. You
can let us know in the comments, folks, if you think that should affect it. I said no because
he's a ref.
He's a ref. He's not a direct participant. He can't win or lose the match. Though he
did
try
kicks
to
the fucker, but
he super kicks the son of a bitch. But all right, I like your card. You got some deeper cuts in here than I was expecting. I like it. You're going to look at my card and be like, wow, there's no variety in terms of it's all one-on-one, like singles stars, essentially. But I think I brought some heavy hitters. All right. Match number 1. We are opening with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from Bad Blood 1997. That's gotta be Kane.
Well, that's probably already the best match of the bunch that's better than any match I picked.
By picking it, I was like, I actually don't have a Kane match on here. Which feels wrong in an on fire.
He's the fire.
He's the fire guy. But I at least wanted to put his debut in here. Number 2 is a match this is the world title match on the show. It is Randy Orton versus Christian for the World Heavyweight Championship, because Randy Orton has been in an Inferno match. He's also, I think he's been in a spot where he's had the flaming table. I think that's happened.
Not in the Foley match.
Not in the Foley match. No. But also Christian was part of the Brood, and they came up through the fire. So like it works on a couple of levels. Specifically, I think it's their best one was the one from SummerSlam 2011. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
one
I'm
of
going with.
those.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Number 3. Triple H, you've been in an Inferno match. Mick Foley, you've caught fire multiple times.
Oh my God, thank God. I was going to pick that.
The Royal Rumble Street Fight from 2000 for the WWF Championship, and obviously the lineage is different. WWF Championship to the World Heavyweight Championship. They were 2 different belts.
The
So
people
we're
don't get
set.
to hear our stammering during the stressful 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but one of the first things I said after the timer had started was, "No, I don't want that match. I've used it too many times."
And it was that match?
It was that match.
A match that I haven't used before. Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. The Firefly Funhouse match from WrestleMania 36 is my
I was
4th match.
also going to go with Bray Wyatt versus John Cena, but it was going to be their cage match from back
with
in
the little creepy
2014.
kid?
Yeah.
The creepy kid. Fun fact, that creepy kid, now Jacob Elordi. Yeah. Bet you didn't think that.
Didn't know it.
Yeah, well, here
Wouldn't
you
have
go.
guessed he would have grown to be 6'4".
Number 5. Here we go. This is where it's going to get interesting in terms of has this man been on fire? I think yes. Halloween. So this is not the match I'm picking, but this is where this person caught on fire. Is Halloween Havoc 1998.
Brother, I only know the one match from Halloween Havoc 1998.
Which is which match?
The Eddie Ray match.
Oh, I was thinking of Hogan versus Warrior in the main event. Where
I'm just going to give it to you. I don't know what happens, but I'm giving it to you.
There is meant to be a spot where Hogan shoots a fireball at Warrior using the flash paper. He totally biffs it and catches his hand on fire.
Counts.
My main event is Hogan versus Rock from WrestleMania 18. If it counts, it counts.
Hey, listen, if I'm counting Jeff Hardy having a kayfabe pyro accident, you can get that.
You know how bad I feel for MVP having been in an Inferno match and not being picked on either one of our cards?
I mean, you didn't pick Kane. Like,
Kane at least shows up in mine, though.
He is the fire person in wrestling.
He's the fire guy.
It's him and Fire Pro Wrestling. Like, those are the two fire things.
I love Fire Pro Wrestling. Also, Alundra Blaze, shout out. All right. It is up to you in the comments to let us know who had the better fire-adjacent card. Is it Javier? Is it myself? Let us know in the comments. And then also tell us other things you want to add to the gimmicks so we can be stressed out next month when we do another edition of Take a Card, Make a Card. Make sure you hit subscribe, like the video. It helps out tremendously. Make sure you check out our podcast, Crossbody of Work, wherever you get your podcasts and here on YouTube. We'll be back soon to be stressed out again. We'll talk to you then.
Bye.